Dear students, good morning. Welcome to our program. Delta TV is bringing you European history today, and I'm Pajitone Sewanyana, your presenter and your discussant. Today I'm coming in from Namgongo. I thank the management of this television for facilitating government programs of e-learning. Today we are going to look at European history, and our topic of discussion is we are going to discuss the Eastern question. When we talk about the Eastern question, we are talking about the conflicts that were in the eastern part of Europe in what we call the Balkan Peninsula. Within the Balkan Peninsula, we had several conflicts coming up. First of all, we had the overall Ottoman Empire. From your history of West Africa, you must have studied the Oyo Empire, the Dahomey Empire. That in itself, empire is something to do with vast. The empire has something to do with vast. So when we talk about the Ottoman Empire, we are talking about a vast empire, and this empire at a certain point was referred to as the sick man of Europe. Therefore, when you look through past papers, they have asked questions like, why was the Ottoman Empire referred to as the sick man of Europe? As we go on with this discussion, we shall be able to discuss all those points and discuss them exhaustively. They can also ask us, a sick man of Europe, end of quotes, is it a fair description of the Ottoman Empire? How do they arrive at that? The internal conflicts, the internal military weakness, the internal dynamics within the Ottoman Empire, they themselves contributed to the Ottoman Empire being called the sick man of Europe. So when we talk about the Eastern question, what are we expected to do? We are expected to know the Greek, that is the country. The people are called the Greece, and that is the Greek War of Independence. We are going to discuss that. 1821 to 1832. 1821 to 1832. They always ask us, how far was nationalism a cause for the Greek War of Independence? The term nationalism alone is equal to independence. So in such a case, you are supposed to give us, to a greater extent, the Greek War of Independence was the result of the nationalistic desire by the Greeks to see that they attain their independence and bring an end to Ottoman exploitation and unnecessary unfair taxation. After the Greek War of Independence, we shall straight away go and look at the Syrian what? The Syrian question. And as we look at the Syrian question, that is 1831 to 1841. Syrian question is 1831 to 1841. That's where we find the Syrian question. After the Syrian question, we shall talk about the Crimean War. This was 1854 to 1856. The Crimean War itself took place 1854 to 1856. My dear students in Senior 6, you first wrote the word Crimean War when you are writing the achievements of the Vienna Settlement or the Congress system. You said it restored peace in Europe for at least 40 years when the first war took place, and that was the Crimean War, 1854 to 1856. We shall discuss and find out how far was Napoleon III a cause of the Crimean War. Napoleon III was revenging on the basis of having had his brother Napoleon I defeated by Russia, and that was during the Moscow campaign. What was the prime cause of the Crimean War? Was it Russian imperialism? Was it Russian aggression? Was it Russian expansionist policy? What led Britain? What led France to participate in the Crimean War? To summarize the war conflicts in the Balkan, we shall talk about the Berlin Conference, or what other people call the Berlin Congress. This one is 1878. Now, in the Berlin Congress, we find this gentleman, your friend Bismarck, saying, originally he had said, those of you who are doing paper 6, that colonies are not important, that colonies are not worth the bones of the German soldiers. So he changed his mind and called the Berlin Congress to make sure that he regulates how the colonization of Africa would take place. The most significant aspect as a result of this, we came up with the doctrine of effective occupation. Those of you who are doing paper 6, you must have studied about the doctrine of effective occupation when you are looking at the scramble and partition. When you are looking at the scramble and partition, you must have talked about the doctrine of effective occupation, where they agreed at Berlin that if a country has interest in a particular region, it should be able to occupy it. And that was the doctrine of effective occupation. And it's the doctrine of effective occupation that facilitated the scramble and partition of Africa by generating people like men on the spot, by coming up with chartered companies. That work was exhaustively discussed by my brother Jeremiah Mugerwa from Mengo Senior School and King's College, Budo. So for me, my role today is to take you through what is the Eastern question. Today we are in a lockdown. The lockdown began on 18th March. Now we are having questions. What is happening? When are they opening us? How many cases of corona? You find that even those who have been cured are calculated and added to the overall number of people. Why? Because corona does not have patients. Corona has what? Cases. So if you are treated and you are dispatched, you remain a case of study as regards Uganda. So now we are having a new case coming in. We don't have corona patients. We have corona what? Cases. It is the same thing here. There were several questions. Can we allow Syria get her independence? If yes, what are the implications of this on the overall Ottoman Empire? If we allow Greece to get their independence, what are the implications? You should remember those earlier histories of P6, P7, when we talked about the Renaissance. The Renaissance refers to the birth of knowledge, and the birth of knowledge was birthed in Greeks, and this was in the towns of Athens and Sparta. And as a result of this, the Greeks had that glory. So as they had that glory, they wanted to restore it. They wanted to restore it, and as they tried to restore it, this in itself was contributing to what came to be known as the Eastern question. Several people are fighting. Why are they fighting? We are having a weak empire. we are having a weak empire, and this weak empire is in the name of the Ottoman Empire. Therefore, we shall begin our discussion by asking ourselves, why was the Ottoman Empire referred to as the sick man of Europe, or account for the disintegration of the Ottoman Empire? Syria was part of the Ottoman Empire. The Greeks were part of the Ottoman Empire. Talk about the people in the Crimean War, the island of Crimea. They were all part of the Ottoman Empire. Why are they disintegrating? We are going to discuss that. We are also going to discuss why Nicholas I of Russia referred to the Ottoman Empire as the sick man of Europe. The sick man of Europe. We are having elections in our country, and they have released the roadmap. Because we are going to use remote, we are going to use phones, we are going to use newspapers, we are going to use radios. It has been called what? Scientific election. It has been called the scientific what? Election, because it is using scientific gadgets. The management is using what? Scientific gadgets. Now, I have problems with my neighbor. He took part of my land. When I take him to court, that one is called constitutional justice. I take my neighbor, Mr. Msoke, you took my land, we go to court so that you return my land. That one is called constitutional justice. Now, when I say, Mr.